Burns once said, "I would rather be a failure at something that I love than a success at something I hate." Now, I can't speak for all runners, but me, personally, I love race day, right? Race day is like Christmas. You get your bib, and you get like your outfit if you're dressing up, and you line up with everybody else, and the gun goes off, and you start running. And if you're like me, you'll get to a point in the race where you look behind you, and there's a police car directly behind you. And in that moment, you know you are the very last person in the race. Yeah, that's a fun one. Yeah. So we're going to play a game of Never Have I Ever. Now, for those who don't know how this works, I make a declarative statement about something I allegedly have never done. If you have done that thing, you raise your hand. So if I were to say, never have I ever been to FitBloggin, everybody in this room raises their hand. Excellent. All right, good. We're good. We're on the right track. So, never have I ever been in a race. Oh, we got lots of runners. Woo-hoo! Okay. Never have I ever been in the back of a pack at a race. All right. Never have I ever been the very last person to cross the finish line. Oh, I love all of you. Yes. I've actually been in last place multiple times, including my very first race. Even if I'm not in last place, I'm always in the back of the pack, and I'm always a slow runner. And I'm totally okay with that. When I ran my third half marathon back in May, I had a overall average of 17 minutes and 17 seconds. But I did say my third half marathon, because I might be slow, but that doesn't stop me from totally getting out there and signing up for more races. Thank you. But why do we all keep doing it? Why do we keep paying all this money for these races and knowing we'll probably be last place or always in the back of the pack? Why do we keep putting ourselves through it? You do it for the bling too. Don't lie, you do it for the bling. But seriously, I came to running kind of late in the game just a couple years ago. I was always the girl who walked the mile in school. And then a couple years ago, I looked like that. And I started running as a means of not looking like that anymore. And I signed up for my very first race. It was at the Cleveland Zoo. And out of 362 people who ran that race, I was the 362nd person to cross the finish line. Now, this was sort of a defining moment, right? You're at that point where you have to make a decision about what you're going to do. There's two roads you can take. On the one hand, I could say, maybe this whole running thing isn't really for me. Maybe I should consider doing something else. Or the other option, which is door number 2, and the far scarier one, is to say, you know what? I'm going to keep trying this. I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to get faster. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to keep doing it. So that brings me back to George Burns. Does being a slow runner make me a failure? I don't know. Do I care? Not really. Because I love what running does. It makes me feel like a superhero. I love connecting with other runners. I ran the Cleveland Half back in May as an ambassador, and I got to meet all of these other runners, and we talked about all of the races we have done, and I've run into other ambassadors at future races. Since I started running, my dad and my sister have started running as well. She will kill me for that picture. They're both faster than me, but it doesn't really matter because this is a sport that we can share together, and my dad and I are running a race next month. Running has allowed me to do other things, like become an indoor cycling instructor. I became certified last year. I never would have done that. More than anything, though, I love connecting with other slow runners, which is why I started a podcast called Running with Police Escort. I funded it with Kickstarter. Some of my backers and my guests are in this room right now. You guys are awesome. I love all of you. We may not be the fastest. We may be the very last person to cross that finish line. But mile by mile, we put as much heart and soul into running as everybody else because it's not last place. It's running with police escort.